Welcome back, guys. This is Travis here of Fish Hacks. Appreciate you stopping in. Today's video is going to be part one of probably 4 or 5 on this new frag tank build series. Now in this video I'm going to be building the stand, and I'm just doing it out of standard 2x4s that I picked up from Home Depot. Now this stand design is exactly what I used on the 125 gallon reef, as well as several other tank stands that I've built in the past. Now it's pretty simple, guys. You're just going to do the 4 supports on the side, and then of course you're going to do a center support depending on how long the stand is, and as well as corner supports. It's very easy, guys, and honestly it saves you a ton of money, especially when it comes to purchasing a stand opposed to actually building one yourself. And speaking of price, the total cost of this stand was about $80. That's with the plywood, the screws, and the 2x4s. Now the screws were almost half of that, believe it or not, and I like to get the ones that are they kind of pre-drill themselves, so I don't really have to worry about the wood cracking or anything. So I do spend a little bit extra money when it comes to the screws, but I do find that they are well worth it in the end. So the first thing I do here is just go ahead and set the 4 main boards that are the length of the stand. I just set those to the side. I'm going to go ahead and then measure out 4 24-inch ends, which I'll cut, and then they will connect those 4 boards together. When it comes to attaching these boards, I like to put the screws in first just because it makes it a lot easier, and I really only have to hold the boards in place and I don't have to try to fiddle around with a screw. Once all 4 are attached, you pretty much have the top and bottom of the tank stand. So the next thing I got to do is go ahead and cut the 36-inch tall supports. Now these supports actually go on the inside of both the top and bottom of the frames. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut 29-inch supports, which will go on the outside, and I will need 8 of those to cover all 4 of the inner supports. As you guys can see, it's a pretty simple design. It doesn't take a lot of effort, and I know that a lot of people like to use 4x4s because they're not really sure on how strong 2x4s are, and I will happily admit, when I built my first tank stand way back for a bigger reef, it was actually, I think it was the 125 gallon, I ended up doing 4x4s not only on the 4 corners, but I also did 2 center braces that were 4x4s, and this was just a 6-foot tank. Definitely overkill. The tank stand weighed a ton. I mean, I probably could hold up a car, if not 2 or 3 of them. And honestly, when I was taking it down and moving to another place, I ended up just cutting it up with a saw because there was no way. I mean, it would take like 4 people to get it on the back of a truck. That's how heavy it was. So there's definitely no need to go overkill on your stand. 2x4s with a proper supporting, especially on an 8-foot tank, you at least want 1 support in the middle, and that way you get every 4 feet. As you can see, I already attached the top and the bottom together with the inner supports, and now I'm just kind of tightening everything up. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and cut the 29-inch outer supports. As I mentioned previously, I need 8 of these, and there'll be 2 of them for each leg. I feel that these outer supporting boards really hold the weight of the stand, and there's a noticeable difference on how strong the structure is as soon as you put them in place. As you can see, I have to tap in some of these side supports, and then the other one is loose. This is because my saw is a piece of crap. I probably should have replaced it about 2 tank stands ago, but I don't really remember to do it until I've already made the cut and realized that it's pretty shitty. But either way, they're only like a millimeter off in length, and honestly, I just put them in place, screw them in, and then what I'm gonna do is just loosen up the top stand support and just kind of seat it back down on those 2 outer supports. It's not really a big deal. It doesn't make a difference. The tank is still level, and it's just kind of an eyesore with them not being perfectly flush, but I will get around to buying a new saw. It's just kind of, it's on the list. Either way, the tank stand really starts to come together when you add these side supports. After that, I'm going to go ahead and cut the center one and put those in, and then I'm going to move on to the plywood. Now, I didn't show in this video, but I did add those center bracing at the bottom of the tank stand. That way, the plywood would have something to sit on. Now, later on, I did end up adding a few more just because of the sheer amount of weight that I had on the 60-gallon cube and the 40-gallon breeder sump. So I added 2 more supports on the bottom and then added the plywood over the top. And then that was about it, guys. I mean, that's pretty much it for the stand. It worked out great, and it really doesn't look that bad for only taking a couple hours to make. Well, guys, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next one, I'll be showing you the frag tanks. We'll be drilling, installing the overflow boxes, and painting the back and bottom of them, as well as doing some plumbing. So look forward to that video. Should be out here in a couple days. Now, if you've been following me on Instagram or the Fish of Hex Facebook page, you already know that this system is up and running. I've already taken down the 125-gallon reef, and thankfully, I haven't lost a fish or a single piece of coral, and that transition went over very well. Now, the key was to actually plumb this system in a way that I can control one tank at a time, which made it a lot easier when it came to breaking down all 3 systems. So look forward to the videos coming out here in the next couple days. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. And don't forget to subscribe for more. I'll see you next time. Peace.